Welcome
to
Sleepdrunk.
where we're really sorry about the erratic as hell release schedule. We're working on it. Yeah, about that. I'm sorry about a lot of that's the release stuff's on me. Just gonna explain, cover my ass. I've been kind of bad with my timing and scheduling and a lot of stuff, but we're working on it. Hopefully we should be more consistent going forward, going back to the whole bi-weekly thing. But yeah, also happy Thanksgiving if you're in the US.
Yep, definitely.
It is the Thanksgiving season. We're recording this day before Thanksgiving, actually. So by the time this goes up, it'll be after Thanksgiving. But hopefully everyone had a good. How do you describe the associated emotions of Thanksgiving? Like, there's happy, but like.
That's just what you say. Is happy Thanksgiving.
I mean, I know that, but it's like. Like there's other like for example like with Christmas, right? There's like there's other like restful. Some people they'll say like the Christmas period should be like restful and
hopefully
like
you had a joyful,
stuff.
a thankful, a happy, a merry, a wonderful Thanksgiving.
A filling Thanksgiving. Hopefully you got nice and filled.
Got stuffed
In many ways. Maybe you did some stuffing. Let us know. Tweet us at SleepdrunkPC. Okay. So, first topic. I'm moving kind of fast because I found out I have to pick my father up from the metro in an hour and a half. So, so today we're starting off with something a little bit fresh, a little bit fun. We're going to be on a little site called Shindanmaker. Now, Alex, I introduced you to this a couple of weeks ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it is a site where you create these things called shindans. They're like little basically quizzes, and what you do is you kind of punch your name in, and it gives you a multi-quadrant grid with your stats in a specific area. So what I've done is I've curated a fine list of 10 shindans, and what we're going to do is that, Alex, on your end, you're going to type my name into them, and I will type your name into them, and we will discuss the results.
Alrighty.
So I guess without further ado, and I have obfuscated the names on the show notes to keep Alex nice and surprised. So I'll start with number 1. So the first one, how attractive are you? 1 to 100. Pretty straightforward.
I feel like you've handpicked these.
Oh, I definitely handpicked these.
Yeah.
These are curated
so that we know the results. So I'm gonna purposely screw with it.
No. Just put my name in. Put my name in straightforward. I haven't done all of them yet.
No, we're definitely not doing straightforward.
No. This is why I wanted to do this one in person. All right, well, I'm just typing your name in. Let's see what I got. What did I get, Alice? What was my score?
I'm trying to twist the results here a little bit.
I'm giving you 10 seconds.
All right, so your attractiveness is -1,000. Please get away from me.
Was that a legitimate result, or did you just kind of like inspect element?
No, that's actually 100% legitimate. Damn. And I didn't even screw with your name.
You got a hot 86.
All right. I tried to screw with it at first, and it gave me a 77. So I'm like, this is too good. We gotta mess with this. So let me
let me put your full name in, Alex. I'm not gonna say it to the viewers, but your full name is a 77. I think your middle name just isn't that attractive, Alex.
I put a link in the show notes for you to click.
Oh no. And what we'll do is we'll post some of our results in the show notes. Some of them maybe the best ones.
Oh, you little... I just found what you did. So...
Well, so what is a... Can we talk about that?
No need. But there's your 2. So now we know what you're up to.
All right. Good. So, number 2. Let me open up 2. What did I put for 2? Oh yeah, of course. 2 is the classic.
The classic vibe check. All right, cool.
So we're vibe checking. I've done this a number of times. Alex, your vibes, you passed, which is good. You
definitely failed. You're very cursed, very feral, and quite a clown.
All right, so
a little soft and also a little gremlin.
So on your end, you are all in on baby, all in on soft, all in on gremlin, pretty far like an 8 at feral, and then you're kind of cursed, kind of clown. So what I'll just send all these to you like separately because I don't want to like post them.
Like you got no baby vibes, but like you failed. So
I mean, you know what? I'll it is what it is. Like I think as a person, I think it's just really to like change some of my life choices. Like change what I'm doing, eat better, do more meth. So
yeah, it's probably the meth, honestly.
Yeah, it might be the meth. But but I think that was pretty straightforward. This is like one of the classics. So I'm going to jump to number 3, which is personality alignment, cursed edition. Wow. Okay. You have some very telling signs. So Alex, let me explain your alignment to you. You're solid like 3 on cursed, an 8 uwu, lots of big uwu energy.
Big uwu energy, despite the fact that I'm not even a weeb.
I think it just shows like it's your destiny.
I actively fight weebism on the daily.
It's your destiny, man. What can I say? You are got like a 3 on soft, 1 on horny, which I think explains a lot. Got a solid 5 on feral.
Really just gonna come at me like that? All right.
A 6 on baby, 7 on chaotic, and a solid 7 on stupid. So like you're basically a stupid uwu, but your biggest is uwu.
All right. So we're gonna start you out with your biggest, which is soft, real softy, real mama's boy. And what did you get? You got a 7 there, and then we're gonna step down to a 5 at horny. So like I'm mixing that with mama's boy. I'm getting some really weird vibes here, really out of alignment. And then some equal for feral baby and stupid.
You're my stepson.
Yeah, I'm not saying what you're into, but like I think we've found, with this diagnosis right here. And then also a slight bit chaotic and uwu, and just a slight bit cursed. So
that's fair. I'm a little cursed. I'm not that cursed.
Yeah.
I have a few pretty good ones in here. What's number 5? Okay. So number 4, the boomer test. I think this one, once again, it's pretty straightforward. Like the first few are pretty, like, they're pretty tame.
Oh, I just clicked 3 again. Whoops. I hate this new link thing that they've made.
Yep. So, Alex, you got a 5 on boomer.
You're quite a coomer, my dude.
So you got a 5 on boomer. You got a 2 on zoomer, 2 on coomer, 5 on doomer, 7 on virgin, 5 on chad, 2 on based, and a solid 3 on cringe. So basically a slightly cringe boomer version.
All right, so like you're a zoomer coomer.
Good to know.
Also a virgin and a base doomer, a little bit of chad, and then a slight bit of cringe and boomer as well.
It's good to know. Yeah. See, I feel like...
So you don't boom, but you do coom.
See, the thing is that boomer as a meme has kind of died because, like, a senator used it. When a senator uses it...
Yeah, definitely
it's
dead.
It's dead.
Like, hard pass.
So, now for one of my favorites, number 5, random OC generator. OC, for those of you who don't know, stands for original character. So, Alex, you are a ghost, a child, female, tan, fat with healthy weight, incredibly short. You have floor-length straight hair, which is like white to pink ombre. What the fuck is pink ombre?
We seem to be very similar.
Ombre? Oh, so it's like a fading pink?
Yeah, you have the same, by the way.
I wonder how these are generated. You're sporty and you have very visible veins. What does that mean? Because you're a ghost.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So you're a zombie, right? You're an adult zombie, female.
Okay.
Tan, muscular and incredibly tall, but you have some kinky. It literally says that, longer than floor length hair, with the same color, that white to pink ombre or whatever. A floral style, whatever that means. And you have full body freckles.
What? Isn't that just called skin cancer?
No, that's called being a ginger.
No, so having a lot of freckles, like,
same thing, I guess.
In populations that aren't prone to freckles, can be a sign of like early or like light skin cancer. What's number 6?
Well, my genes are screwed then, because like we have both.
Enjoy the cancer. Number 6.
My mom already did, so.
Oof.
Yep.
Didn't know that. That's unfortunate. Number 6.
I mean, she's still
Alex,
here, so.
I want you to read it out.
Number 6. What? Why did you? Oh, that's why. So how thick are you? This better be right. Okay, yeah, 666% thick.
You're a nice 190% thick.
All right, that's like a fair amount, you know.
Yeah, like I think that's reasonable. It's healthy.
I feel like
bodacious.
you being 666% thick is like dead on.
See, the thing is, I put my Xbox Live gamer tag in there a while ago, and I got infinity.
Infinite percent thick.
Yeah. All right. Number 7.
Oh,
what kind of
my
e-girl
God.
are you, Alex? I have to know.
So you're like moderately bipolar, horny and kind, all at the same time. Not very soft, but extremely attractive.
Okay, so Alex, you got 3 on attractive, so you're in the middle of the line attractive.
Middle
you
of the
are
line.
incredibly
All right, I'll take
bipolar.
that.
You're all the way out on bipolar.
I got them bipolar vibes, you know.
Got a 1 on kind, a 1 on horny, and a nice a 3 on soft.
You know what? I'll take that.
So you're basically just bipolar. You're just straight up bipolar.
All right.
As a disclaimer, we're not making fun of mental health. It's being bipolar is a very serious state. It's a very serious mental illness, and you should seek medical help. Legal at sleepdrunk.net.
Is the next one broken or is it just stupid?
Number 8.
Yes.
It's your ooh energies.
All right. Well, you have an Excel error.
I'll send you the link in our Slack chat.
No, like I'm fully there.
It might just be broken. Oh yeah, no, it is just broken. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that makes sense considering that it's the site.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Okay, so number 9.
And you did include the furry character generator. Good.
Yep, Alex. Because I know you care a lot about that community, and the fact that you're a poodle, which is actually interesting because you own a poodle, don't you?
I do, in fact, own a poodle,
so you're
and
a
that
poodle.
is scary. I dislike this website now, and I think we should ban it from the internet.
You are pink and malachite green, and your personality is well-meaning and airy.
You're literally a fuchsia and khaki Wolverine.
What the fuck?
So, like, pinkish purple, bright Wolverine.
A Wolverine.
Pretty feral, I would say, but you're creative and grand. With an
I feel like that
exclamation
describes me
point.
pretty well. I think I'm a pretty creative, pretty grand.
Fuchsia Wolverine, yep.
Yep. So
That's your fursona.
Yep, that is my persona. So Alex,
Actually, I'm really disappointed that they didn't call it that.
they call it what?
Your fursona test.
They should have called. It's not. Oh yeah, it is. It should be called persona test. What the hell? So we find another one. So Alex, the next one, I think this is the ultimate one. Alex wishes to be. This is the trap test. If you don't know what a trap is,
What kind of trap do you secretly desire to be?
Alex, you wish to be a flat-chested lolly wearing a PVC penguin costume.
Well, you also wish to be a flat-chested, however, teenager wearing a Silk Idol costume.
I think that'll work on me.
Gotta keep the chest flat.
Yep.
Glad we're in
I'm
agreement
gonna
there.
enter. I'm gonna enter your name without the last name because I think I entered just your name and got a while ago and got something really good.
I've been using not your last name ever since the first one.
Fair. Let's see. You wish to be a big-breasted lolly wearing a pink wedding dress.
Let me put yours in with the last name. Average teenager wearing a satin dress. Well, how basic.
That's kind of like wearing a dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how this works. Because, like, if you enter the same name multiple times, you always get the same result, and I doubt it would log it. I hope it doesn't log it.
It's probably some sort of thing that's based on a hash.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think it probably hashes it somehow. So I think, now that we've kind of gone through the ones I've curated, and we still have a pretty solid chunk of time, I'm just going to start picking random ones and sending you links. So...
Oh, goody.
Road trip with a tease. I don't know what this is. I don't know what a tease is, but I'm sending it to you. You on your road trip, you should go on a road trip with Songhua, and both of you should listen to "Because of You" by Victon. I think this is K-pop. Is this K-pop?
This is probably K-pop because you're going to go on a road trip with Hongjoong. And both of you should listen to Mamma Mia by SF9.
Yeah, a tease is a K-pop group. Okay, cool. So if any of you are K-pop fans, you can let us know what that means. Because I don't listen to K-pop. I have I'm not gonna say like super strong opinions about K-pop, but it's like I don't like it because of how artificial it sounds. It's a whole other topic. Let's see. Alice, I want you to go to the main list. And
all right, what's your PP size?
Okay. Where is it?
16 centimeters. That's 6.3 inches. Can we convert the 16 centimeters to football fields?
Yes, we can actually. A while ago, I did in fact find a site, centimeters to.
All right, so that's going to be 0.001749 football fields.
Good to know. Good to know. Your PP size is
17. Just 0.0017 because significant figures. You know, you got to factor that in.
Yes, you should.
Very scientific.
Here, did you send me a link to the PP test?
Definitely. Yeah. Let me send you a PP test.
Yeah. Because like I gotta know your PP test. Let's get this PP. Let's see. What's your PP size? 17 centimeters.
Wow, so I beat you out by 1 centimeter. Let's convert that to football fields for the Americans listening. So that's going to be 0.0018 football fields. Actually, 0.0019 football fields. Significant figures and rounding. There's a 5 after the 8, so.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. I think it's important, you should know that in football fields. So I'll know that if I take my PP and then, like, cut it up into...
So we're going to stop and end the show there.
But first, Alex, what are your horror levels?
Huh?
What are your horror levels?
Let's find out.
You are a whore.
Okay, good to know.
It doesn't even use
so
the
name.
It just spits out you are a whore.
Yeah, these aren't quite levels. It's just a...
It's just you're a whore.
Yes. This is the horsehead rule.
Don't you bring up the horsehead rule.
The horse says yes, not no.
Okay, Alex, you want to explain the horsehead rule?
I can't, honestly. Basically, all I know is that I had a Russian Calculus 1 professor, and he spent one of the first few lectures just kind of rambling on about the horsehead rule. Nobody else in the class got it. The graduate TA didn't really get what he was going on about. I haven't met anybody else that gets what he was saying. But horsehead rule, something. Does the horse say yes or no? Like shaking his head as he does it.
Calc 1 horsehead.
It's something to do with trig. It's like a pre-calc kind of thing.
Chain rule. Paul's online math notes doesn't have it.
Horsehead rule calculus.
The standard
literally
Federal
nothing.
Register Encyclopedia. I think he probably did. He make it up?
Maybe.
Okay, what was it for? This
is also probably some premium education he got from the University of Moscow. So.
What was the horsehead rule used for?
Like I said, something with trigonometry.
Okay, just something with trig. Was it like a conversion thing?
Yes.
So if the horse says yes, you're winning. Oh, the perfect nickname. This one looks good. Let me shoot you the perfect nickname.
I might need to clear my day's history after this.
I think you should show it to like your pastor.
I don't have one.
You should get one and show it to him.
All right. So your perfect nickname is going to be Elsiav.
Yours is Pusior. Puceoor.
I don't really think it's a nickname if it has more syllables than your name.
I mean, like, what are the criteria for a nickname?
A shorter, like
does a nickname have to be short, or does it just have to be like
a short,
different?
stupid name that people call you instead of your name, instead of your actual name?
Bitch.
Yeah, because like bitch is short. Like if everyone knows you as bitch, then
short
like, that's
for
your
bitch
nickname.
mantha.
It's bitch. Like I feel like your nickname has to be like 2 syllables or less.
Okay, so a familiar or humorous name given to a person or thing instead of or as well as the real name.
Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be 2 syllables or less, but a good nickname is.
Yeah. So I looked up nickname. I just found this video by a channel called 1 Million Tests.
Welcome to Sleepdrunk,
just
where we
called-
Google random and share our results.
That's what we do for, like, that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
Fair.
Take the nickname quiz. Alex, pick a number between 1 and 16.
I just realized that my
Pick a
cat
number
has
between-
puked on my desk and made it run underneath my electronics. So
That's not great.
no,
That being said, pick a
Heard
number
she
between
kinda
1 and
went-
16.
I heard she kind of went stupid the other day with that.
Just started, like, vomiting everywhere.
Yeah, my cat vomits a lot. We don't really know why. If she's made it this far, she's gonna keep going for a while. So
You know what? Good on her. Good on her.
yep.
Alex, just give me a number. 1 or between 1 and 16. Don't ask questions.
69.
I'm just gonna pick 9, and then give me a letter between A and P.
B.
Your name is Sally Ellen.
Can it be something besides Ellen?
Ellen is at B.
Okay.
See, I googled nickname, right, and like, I found this
My phone
chart
would
that just
stop.
has like a set of numbers and a set of letters, and I guess you just pick. Also, another way, 4 ways to come up with a nickname: just chop off syllables from the end of your name. So Jonathan becomes John. Beatriz becomes Bea. Is this Bea a nickname? Bay? I guess.
I suppose. I
Winnie
don't
can-
know.
Or add an IE or a Y to a shortened version. So Alex, your nickname could be Allie. My nickname could be Allie.
I'm kind of lost right now, honestly.
I am too. Also, this image spells Susie as SUSI.
That's like
Wrong.
kind of a hoe thing to do.
It's just incorrect. It's a crime. And apparently,
It just has very high hoe levels.
Yvonne can be abbreviated to Vanna.
You're just looking up a nickname list?
I just Googled nickname, and now I'm on Google Images.
We should put the train back on the tracks. How about that?
Wait. Before we do this, we're gonna put something in our Slack chat. This is gonna be in the show notes. It's gonna be beautiful. Will it go? I want you to examine this image. I want you to examine it.
Oh boy, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there is.
What? There's got to be context. It had to have come from a website or something.
From Quiblo, nickname generator.
Is that like a button? Oh, I don't like it.
It's a crappy quiz that, like, there is no context.
So this image just is.
It just is.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm submitting an answer right now, and it says my nickname is. It just doesn't say. It just doesn't say. It just kind of like bounces you back. This is terrible. They have an RSS button. This is a bad site. I don't like this site. All right. Back on track. So now that we've taken some quizzes, done some diagnoses on Shindanmaker, I think it's about time we crack open the old can of alphabet soup of chat, while sitting atop the running fire hydrant of debate on Discussion Avenue.
Yeet. All right. Just having a bad day.
I mean, yeah, just gotta, like, eat the soup, right? Like, it's like the kind where, like, the top is blown off, so it's just sort of, like, blasting up. Like, you're just kind of sitting on this pillar of water, eating old alphabet soup out the can.
I mean, there's better things you could be doing, but I guess if you're having a bad day, it just is what it is.
You need some alphabet soup, or like maybe that's the only thing in town because you're on Discussion Avenue and it's a literal hellscape. It's like that or a
Discussion
skunk
Avenue's
corpse.
pretty bad. Discussion Avenue needs some gentrification.
It needs like a hazmat team.
Yeah, that too.
So Alex,
Maybe let's start with some police.
How have the past number of weeks been for you?
The past amount of weeks have been sort of interesting. I guess, I don't know. I've just been like doing the grind.
It's been a little while.
Had some. It's been like what, 3 weeks?
Almost, yeah, since our last recording.
So yeah, just some classes. Went home.
Twice.
Well, technically,
you're
I
in
guess,
the second
'cause
time
I'm
now.
at home right now
Yeah.
because like Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
Had some more roommate disagreements. That's fun. I wish those could just be settled, but no. Let's all just not show up to the meeting.
Yep.
Like, who does that?
I just dropped a coin.
I honestly really don't have anything to say about my past
Really?
few weeks.
Nothing?
Like it's just been so incredibly average,
Huh.
you know?
See, I think for me it's been a little bit wild. It's been kind of hellish. So, I think in my case, what did I do? So I think the earliest thing I remember that I didn't talk about was I performed, I had a concert.
Well, okay. I forgot about one important thing.
Oh, okay.
I guess it was like right after we recorded last. Could you kind of just like bought a guitar?
And we're gonna talk about that more later.
Yeah, but like
Yes.
it happened.
Yeah, that happened. Whole lot of adventures. But yeah, we're gonna hear more about that later. I performed with my saxophone on stage, which was fun. Show went pretty good. I sent Alex some quality memes in the middle of our intermission.
Yeah, that did in fact happen.
What were the memes?
I don't know, something about meth.
Yeah, something
Just,
about
like, you ever
meth.
just- I remember commenting like, you ever just like take a break from your show to meth?
Yeah, something like that. Something. So there was that. I've just kind of been like drowning in work. Like I had a CS project which wasn't fun. It was not fun.
He is Al Gore now, however.
Yes, so
he
our
made the
project
internet.
was basically to make the internet. So we had to do a LAN simulator, and that involved making a custom structure to hold. It's an array, so in computer science terms, right? There's two ways to store things. You can put things in an array, which is like a shelf, right? It's like a shelf, and there's things in the shelf, and everything's in the shelf. Or you can store them as a linked structure, which is like a scavenger hunt, where you get to one clue, and the clue's like, hey, the next item's over there, which is in the computer somewhere in memory in a scavenger hunt under a book or something, and you kind of like go through the scavenger hunt to find the things. And so we had to make an array, right, which is the shelf, of lists. We like linked lists, which are like the link structure, the scavenger hunt of key value pairs. So we had to find some way to make that. And then after that, we had to make, we had to make like a graph, which is like a map, and then
Like, look at this
routing
graph.
tables, hash tables. And the funny thing was, so the way our CS courses are formatted is that for the whole semester, you get a certain number of late tokens, which is where you can submit a project a day late, and there's no penalty on your grade. You just lose the token, and if you have your tokens at the end of the semester, you get a little bit of extra credit. So I decided to go use a token for this one because it's our last project, and I figured that, you know what, I think I could use the extra time, really perfect it, make sure everything's good. And so it was due Sunday night, but at this point it was Monday night, so I used the token, so I was on the next day, and I was in my terrorism class with Michael, and I'm just doing my coding in the class because the professor doesn't check if you're actually paying attention. I don't advocate not paying attention in class, but if you gotta do it, you gotta do it. So I'm looking through, and I'm just running everything, testing everything, and I see, hey, and so we have to run this auditor for our code, which just makes sure that everything's formatted correctly. So it says, hey, there's a formatting error in this other file. It was one of the like pre-made files, because like they give you a few files that just kind of help everything run. So I go and it says, hey, and it just kind of says your code here. And I think, oh, I have 5 hours to figure out what the hell this is and then implement it. And I had a bit of a mental breakdown and was very, very sad and very tired because I had an econ exam the next day, which was yesterday. And I somehow managed to make it work, and I have made the internet. So that was cool.
All right.
But
thank you.
I'm
very
miserable.
Cool.
I'm miserable. My life has lost all meaning. There is no God.
Well, all right. So I think that we can use our boomer vibes to collect that the internet did it to you. The internet made you depressed. How do I click the book?
Yes, I think I can click the book. So yeah, that's been my week. Had an econ exam. That was fun. I actually enjoy our exam days in econ, because we do is the first half of the class is like the exam, the test, right? You know, we do our testing, and then like the second half is just kind of like we play a game that's economically related, and this one was really cool. So what our professor did was he had the whole class line up facing each other, and we have to put our fingers out, and he rested a poll on all of our fingers, right? And there were two objectives, right? The first objective, get the pole to the ground. The second objective, your fingers must always maintain contact from beneath, right? So no pressure, and like up on the sides. So you can't apply any downward pressure. Only the sides of your fingers can be touching it. They always have to be touching it. And you think everyone could just kind of lower the pole, but instead the pole just kind of like went up. It just rose.
Wait. I'm very lost. What?
What
all is going on here?
So we're playing a game in my econ class, right?
Mm.
The objective is a professor has this like long metal pole, and our goal as a group is to lower it to the ground. So our goal is to get the pole to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So the way we have to do it is we all put our hands in front of us, right? With like pointed fingers, basically just pointed at each other, right? And then like we had all of our like fingers sticking out at the same like level, right? So they're all kind of lined up, and it's like such that he could rest the pole on our fingers. So it's like we're all holding it up.
Mm-hmm.
And so the goal would be for us collectively to lower the pole to the ground, like it's sitting horizontally on our fingers, right? That would be the goal. But the one stipulation is that we must always be touching the pole with the side, like without like actually grabbing it, but always just have our fingers in contact with the pole from beneath.
Oh, I gotcha. And there's no way to coordinate everyone.
Oh no, we can talk. But the thing is that if one person,
but you can't get everyone to not lower,
exactly,
to, like, lower their fingers and not stop touching the pole at the same time.
And so what happens is that the pole would just kind of like go up. Like it was really weird because none of us wanted it to go up, but the pole went up. And we never actually managed to do it because I think our professor designed it so that we'd never be able to do it, or at least knows it.
Yep.
It was fun though. I recommend trying it. That was pretty fun. And then we just kind of talked for a while. That's a good class. I recommend this class. If you are at our university, you should take intermediate microeconomics with Awesome Hipster. He's cool. So that's been my week. It's been really busy, really hectic, involved some polls, whole lot of polls, and
big polls,
and some music, which I think is a good segue to our next segment. So Alex, you bought a guitar.
Yeah.
That's the end of the show. Alex bought a guitar. That's it. End the show.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next one.
The Sleepdrunk podcast can be found on MySpace. So, yes, in actuality, Alex, tell us kind of about what got you to this point.
All right. Well, so Alavi came back one day with an electric guitar and an amp that is owned by his friend, and he just like kept it in his room and would pull it out to practice by himself every now and then. Mm-hmm. But I tried it once and I was like, hey, this is sort of cool. Like I've never played an instrument before, and it was new and different to me, and it was like surprisingly doable. Like I was able to get the hang of a few things very quickly. And after that, he started leaving it in the living room, and I would just start practicing things and playing everyone's favorite guitar song, Wonderwall, obviously, and just sort of like figure out how to play it, and after a while I was sort of like I guess you could say, addicted to it, and I knew that the guitar is not his, so it was gonna have to go back at some point. So I thought, like, okay, maybe I can just buy a guitar. So I was thinking originally I was gonna get it. I was gonna ask for it for Christmas or something, and wait and get it. So Mom's like, yeah, that's cool. Go ahead, just like price them. Go look around at music stores. So one day we decide to go look at a local music store in the area that Alavi knows of near his house here in the States, and we go in the acoustic guitar room, and the employee, I guess, that was there showing us around, he kind of like picks up a few different guitars that are like way out of my price range, and I
they're all like
a little bit,
couple $100,
and then
that
he
range.
Goes over to the section right by the door and was showing me some pretty cheap ones, and he picks up this little, I think it's actually called a Little Martin.
Yes. And
was showing it to us and talking about how really it's a $99 as is thing.
It's like,
and the only reason it's like that is
comparatively speaking,
it's
isn't kind of rough shape, like there's a crack on the top.
Yeah, like there's just a separation in the wood on the top because it was kept in a too dry of environment. And that's what happens when you don't keep guitars in the proper humidity. But anyway, we just kind of left that and screwed around in the store for a little bit, and then we were talking about it, and we consulted some advice from Alavi's brother, who's into guitars, at least more so than Alavi. And he kind of like wanted to kill us for not buying it there, because apparently it's like a really good deal.
Yeah, I mean, because like, so for context, Martin is considered one of like the higher end brands of guitars. Like their introductory models are all in the at least $300 range. Like they are not cheap guitars. And so even with a crack, a Martin at that price range is very good. And it's funny because when I called him, he was like, "Hey, did it have a square? Did it have a square headstock? What are all of these? Give me the model number. Let me look at it." And I was like, "Want to be sure because that is a very good price for a Martin." So, yeah, it was a good deal. I think you got a good deal, and I think it was funny because I think one day I walked into the living room and you're just kind of like I think you just kind of said like, "You now I'm looking at buying guitars or something," which I found kind of interesting. Yeah, so I think long story short, you bought the Martin. How's it been?
I really like it. I'm starting to play a few things. Haven't gotten super far with it, but I'm definitely glad that I bought it.
And I will just say, let the record show. I will, so for this to be on record, if you go back to a prior episode, somewhere in the 20s, the Sleepdrunk Guide to Music.
This man really gonna do this right now?
Yes, I absolutely am. If you go back to that episode, you'll hear Alex say something. I don't really plan to get into music at any point, but I will keep this in mind. So, just putting it out there. Let the record show. It is known, that he said that at that point. It was sometime in the summer.
All right, my dude. I see how it is.
I'm just saying, like, it is what it is. that happened. That is a fact. And kind of going off of that, I myself, if you don't know, big in music. I'm a music guy. I like playing instruments. I own many instruments. I play a lot of instruments. And I bought one recently. Semi-recently. A while ago. A few months ago. And I was planning on making a whole segment out of it later on, and I figured that now that Alex has bought his guitar, like, this would be a good 2-part segment. So I think my section, I have decided and rolling back to the start of the semester, I auditioned for the jazz ensembles at my school. So I'm not a music major, but I was placed into one of the big bands on campus, which is like a really kind of a big deal, at least for me. It's a good challenge, but I was placed as a tenor saxophonist, and I am primarily an alto saxophonist. For those of you who like don't know anything about instruments, there's different like registers, like that's kind of based on the pitch, how high the instrument plays. So alto is like the second highest or third highest, depending on what you count, register for the saxophones, and the tenor is the one below it. So I didn't have a tenor. And I had been meaning to buy one because the tenor is kind of the more commonly played, more iconic saxophone. Like, it's the first saxophone that has a curved neck. And, like, when you see the curved neck, hey, that's a tenor. And that's kind of what people think. And so I had been wanting to buy one for a while. But I kind of didn't have the money, but I do now because for those of you who don't know, I've been working as a class assistant, and so I thought, hey, I have the money, and this is like an instance where I think it really I really should be getting one because I was using a school one that our school has, and it was in kind of rough shape. Like, if you're in the if any of you guys are into like saxophones, the everything below low C and low C sharp were leaking because of, I think it was I want to say the D, no, not D sharp, the B, the low B pad was leaking, and so long story short, I couldn't play below a certain range, and it was kind of in rough shape. So I thought, hey, you know what? This is a crappy horn, and I've been wanting a tenor. I'm gonna buy one. So I started shopping around, and I decided to go vintage because it's firstly something I just kind of want to look at, and also it's a good way to save money because saxophones are not cheap. They're expensive. They're really expensive. So I picked up. I went to secondending.com, which was it's a great site. So it's run by this guy out of New Mexico called George. Super nice guy. So I bought from them. And the way we paid for it was interesting. So I talked with my father, and he made an agreement with me that he could, since I wasn't getting paid until later in the year, he would just I could just pay him back, and then he would finance it for me, basically. But we had a problem, right? See, George, Second Ending, great guy, being a small business as he is, he has to pay seller fees for credit cards and things like that. And so he said that, if you could do it by check or by money order, it would be a lot easier on him, and he would give me a little discount because of it. And I thought, you know what? Any discount off of I think the sticker price was $900 and something instrument. Any discount off that's a good discount. That's a real good discount. So he gave me, I think, a 5 or 10% discount if I did that. And I'm thinking, all right, so I want to get a money order. I have a credit card. There's a problem. The problem is that with a credit card, if you purchase a money order, which is kind of like a check, but you do it with through the postal service. If you purchase a money order with a credit card, you get a very nice APR. You get a cashback APR on your statement, which it's an interest rate that you pay on that money that's really, really high, really high. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to pay a 26% interest rate on a large sum of money. So what we did, and if I can find,
I don't understand why they treat that any differently than just a regular purchase.
Because for all intents and purposes, money orders are just cash.
Right, but I mean, what's to stop you from just buying things and selling them and getting cash? I don't know. Ask Visa. Or it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think it's a scam.
Yeah. I mean, it's rough, but I think it's no, it's like this with all credit cards. They'll have cashback APRs.
No, I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that's stupid.
It is stupid. But I mean, because it is still technically a loan because it's a credit card.
Any purchase is a loan.
Yeah. Well, bottom line is cashback APR is there. It's dumb. So what we did, I found out that a little service called Venmo, and first off, we will say we do not advocate this. It turns out it kind of violates Venmo's terms of service.
Well, I don't see why actually that it would now, because they're still getting the card processing fee. So
the bottom line
is what it is.
Bottom line is, well, my guess is that. Well, I'll explain a little bit, and then I'll explain why I think they might not like it. So what we did was I had my credit card connected to Venmo. So I Venmo'd Alex. How much was it?
$870.
$870. With the heading just the bag. Just the bag, nothing else. And then he Venmo'd it to me. Venmo'd it back to me, and now there's $870 in my Venmo account. So what I did was I transferred that to my bank account, which is connected to my debit card, which doesn't have a cashback APR on postal money orders. So technically that was money laundering. Technically. Today on Sleepdrunk, Alavi and Alice commit money laundering.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know. See, I think that's the reason they don't, is because like, so I think I can imagine the reason that Venmo might not allow you to just do that is because it might make credit card companies mad, and if credit card companies get mad at Venmo no longer works.
Yeah.
So I can see why they might not allow that. Which,
very true.
Yeah. So we don't recommend it, but if you need to move a large sum of money from a credit card to a debit card without paying a cashback APR, get a friend that has Venmo. So I'll see if I can find the screenshots of it and include it in the show notes. But so that's how I paid for it. So I sent that money order out to George, and he, in return, after quite a while, the shipping took a long time. He sent me, because I think George had some complications in setting it up. But so I got a vintage Bonnier Vito Duke for about the price of, like I said, about, I think after everything it was just about $900, like shipping and everything. It's, I believe, from, I looked at the serial number and it should be somewhere around 1965, so it's pretty old. It plays wonderfully. I love it, and I'm currently in the process of getting it set up. So I'm getting a mouthpiece. I tried synthetic reeds for a while. I wasn't, turns out, like, they work, but I'm not a fan. They work, but I'm not going to use them, I should say. So I got a JazzLab Sax Holder Pro, which is a type of harness for that you like wrap around, like, so the way you play a saxophone is that you would normally
looks like
wear
a CBT device.
CBT isn't family friendly, Alex. Why don't we call it
CBT?
Sausage bean playtime.
Yes.
Some sausage bean playtime.
And that would kind of tangentially mean that down in Guantanamo Bay they just have some playtime going on.
Yeah. Some sausage bean playtime.
Not necessarily that, just regular playtime.
Yeah, just regular playtime. Mostly regular. Maybe a little, so sometimes some of that kind of playtime.
I guess if they're feeling it. Yeah.
Oh no, like it is actually used as a method.
Oh.
Yeah.
The more you know.
It's messed up.
Thanks the CIA.
Yep. Thanks CIA.
Thanks the
It's
CIA.
like you say, like, thanks the Alex.
That's kind of the point, but
all right. So closing sausage bean tabs. So it's a harness that so most saxophonists, they play with this thing called a neck strap, which is what it sounds like. You throw it around your neck and then it holds the weight of the saxophone while you play. So especially with heavier instruments, that's not great for your neck. It hurts. I don't like it. And so I got a harness instead, which distributes the weight to your shoulders and is kind of lightweight. So that's good. That's the harness I'm using. And I'm still shopping around for mouthpieces, but I'm looking at the Theo Wane Slant Sig 2, which is modeled after like vintage mouthpieces from also the 60s, but without the inconsistency of vintage mouthpieces. And with Black Friday coming up, I think I might probably gonna go and purchase one. So I think that's how it's been. It's been good. I love the horn. It plays wonderfully. I can get really nice big sound out of it, and it like just makes me happy. Like, I think a great thing about music is that it just has this capacity to make you just feel good. And I think that's just what I love about it. Like, you just feel good afterwards. Like, you play, you have a good session, and then you're just happy. So, yeah. So, I guess. Well, I'll leave a link to Second Ending at the bottom. Really nice. Like, the guy who runs it's super nice. And, like, he's willing to talk with you, and, like, he's super great. If you're going to buy vintage and you don't... Like, I always recommend to try and go out and try the instrument if you can. I think you should always do that. But if you're in an instance like me where there aren't any vintage music retailers in the area that are within a reasonable driving distance, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I totally recommend Second Ending. Great experience. Yeah, that's been my experience. I'm also getting a new case for it because my current case it's terrible. It's a really bad case. It's like the old bad case that it came with. It's bent, and I'm gonna have to travel with it. So I'm probably gonna pick up like a ProTech Pro Pack case or maybe a band case. I don't know. So yeah, that's been my experience buying my instrument. Alex's experience. Any closing thoughts?
Nothing in particular.
So I guess with that being said, the Sleepdrunk Podcast can be found on any of your favorite social media platforms. I forgot it.
including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and more. Thank you for listening to this episode of Sleep Drunk. Remember that the first person to guess the song of the day on any of our social media or via email will get a shout out in the next episode. The song of the day for the last episode was...
What was it?
I have no
Macintosh.
idea.
I think it was like Macintosh 420. Macintosh Plus.
Yeah, it was some sort of vaporwave.
It was Macintosh Plus, I think. Classic vaporwave song. Really, really story of an era. Yeah. So I guess.
All right. Well, we'll catch you on the next one.
Catch you next time.